left school when I was 16. Immediately started working in a hotel close to where I come from, in the northeast of England, Sunderland. Worked as a chef for about 10 years. Eventually moved to London, started working with a training company. I was taught my first training qualifications then, my craft training certificate, I think it was called then. That led me to moving out to Dubai in 1997 with a training company. Met a lot of HR and training managers from the Middle East, particularly Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Some good relationships, which then led to one of them saying, would you like to come and work with me in Abu Dhabi? And that's how I basically went from being a chef to a trainer and somehow into HR now. Yeah, Millenium Copthorne Hotels, we're a very large company, or getting to be a very large company. At the moment, we operate 17 hotels in the Middle East and Africa. We have massive expansion due in Saudi Arabia in the next couple of years. By 2017, we'll be operating 50 hotels in the Middle East and Africa. So, was that tripling our size, let's say, in the next 4 years? When I moved to Abu Dhabi in the year 2000, I was with a smaller hotel, and it was going through a massive expansion from, I think, 300 staff up until 700, 800. I was there as a training manager, but I got involved quite a lot in HR, the nicer side of HR, meeting and greeting at the airport, welcoming people in the staff accommodation, taking people for breakfast, and somehow or another I felt that just worked hand in hand with the training side of things. Slowly but surely putting my nose into things and starting to get involved in appraisals and things like this, which led then to understanding more of what does the HR office do. I think what we see at the moment, everybody is trying to do everything systematically and better. There are lots of new things that come on the market, or there are lots of trends which are being updated. Psychometric assessments becoming very popular. Unfortunately, we're all still fishing from the same pool, and that pool over the last 20 years has gone from the subcontinent only to the rest of the world, but we're all applying, we're all trying to get the same employees. We still have a big competition with the cruise ships and the airlines who have better jobs, better pay. So I think back into the hospitality industry and the hotels here, we're all trying to be competitive, have training more systematic, have succession plans in place, and trying to get people going through the ladder quickly in our company rather than possibly changing companies and climbing up that career ladder somewhere else. Well, I've been here in Millenium now for 8 months, and we have structured the new regional office in the last 1 year. We've brought on quite a few new directors and new vice presidents. What I've been doing, looking at the last 8 months, is trying to understand what has been happening across all of our properties for the last good few years, and trying to streamline that, put consistent policies in place. I'm not saying that they weren't there, but making sure that in one hotel we have the same way of doing things as the other hotel. We've been looking at, again, back to succession planning. If we talk about 50 hotels in a few years' time, we really need to start putting a clear career path for everybody. So that's been quite an ambitious target, as well as setting up assessment centres for our department heads, and looking at trying to then put them into development centres, getting them ready to be our general managers of the future. Wake up time at 6 o'clock. bright and early, usually a good strong cup of coffee, a couple of slices of toast. I have a 9-year-old son, so we have a little bit of a battle getting him out of the bed. Usually by 7 we're on the road. I'm in the office by 7:30. It's the usual emails to start with, catch up what's been happening overnight, meeting with different suppliers, vice presidents, general managers, interviewing, hands-on, involved in writing training materials, coaching the HR managers and training managers outside in the properties, going for visits, doing audits in the properties, and generally just keep myself very busy until I go home. Usually leave the office about 7 o'clock at night. Millenium Copthornes have its own website. If you go to Millenium Hotels, then you'll be able to click on to see everything about the company, the UK side, the Singapore side, the Middle Eastern side. Our careers site is also on there, like everybody else. Click on careers, and you'd also be able to see all the vacancies which are currently available within all of our properties in the whole of the world, not just here in the Middle East.